Coronary circulation consists of arterial supply, venous drainage, and lymphatic drainage. Arterial supply: the cardiac muscle is supplied by two coronary arteries, the right and left coronary artery. Both arteries arises from sinuses behind, and here you can see the diagram: right coronary artery and left coronary artery. Right coronary artery, smaller than left, arises from anterior coronary sinus. Course emerges from surface of the heart between pulmonary trunk and right auricle, winds round inferior border to reach diaphragmatic surface, to reach posterior inferior ventricular groove, terminates anastomosized with left coronary artery. So that is the course of right coronary artery. Then branches: large branches marginal and posterior interventricular, small branches right atrial, infundibular, nodal. And this is the diagram. You can see nodal supplying to the SA node. There is areas of distribution: right atrium, right ventricle, greater part of the right ventricle except area adjoining the anterior interventricular space, a small part of the left ventricle adjoining posterior interventricular groove, posterior part of the interventricular septum, whole of the conducting system of the heart except part of the left branches. Left coronary artery, larger than the right coronary artery, arises from left posterior aortic sinus. Here you can see the diagram. Course runs over forward and left, emerges between pulmonary trunk and left circle. Here the anterior interventricular branches is given. The further continuation of the left coronary artery is sometimes called the circumflex artery. After giving of the anterior interventricular branch, it runs into the left anterior coronary sulcus. It winds around the left border and near posterior interventricular groove. Branches: large branches anterior interventricular, branches to the diaphragmatic surface of the left ventricle. Small branches left atrial, pulmonary, and terminal. Here you can see the diagram: left atrial appendages. Here you can see the branches. The areas of distribution: left atrium, ventricle, greater part of the left ventricle except the area adjoining the posterior interventricular groove, a small part of right ventricular adjoining the anterior interventricular groove, anterior part of the interventricular septum. Collateral circulation: cardiac anastomosis, the size with the myocardium, extracardiac anastomosis, vasa vasorum of the aorta, vasa vasorum of the pulmonary arteries, intra-atrial thoracic arteries, and the bronchial arteries, the phrenic arteries. Coronary artery dominance: it is the right interventricular artery which determines the dominance. If it is a branch of right coronary artery, it is right coronary artery predominance, and if it is a circumflex artery, if it is a branch of circumflex artery, then it is called as left dominance. So because left coronary artery gives circumflex artery. The functional division: large coronary arteries, epicardial coronary arteries, lies on the epicardial surface, conduct blood with the little resistance. Small coronary arteries descends into myocardium, are of two types: sub epicardial vessels and myocardial. The venous drainage of heart is by three means: coronary sinus, anterior cardiac veins, veni, cordi, minimis. These are very tiny veins. Then coronary sinus, this is the largest vein of heart situated in the left posterior coronary sulcus. It is about 3 cm long and ends by opening into posterior wall of the right atrium. Great cardiac vein, it enters the left and right coronary sinus. Medial cardiac vein, short cardiac vein, posterior vein of left ventricle, oblique vein of left atrium, the right marginal vein. So these are the major vein which ultimately drains into coronary sinus, and coronary sinus drain into right atrium. Anterior cardiac vein is 3 to 4 small veins are there it is not a single vein. And anterior wall of the right ventricle open directly into right atrium. Veni cordi minimi, these are very tiny veins situated in interatrial and interventricular septum and directly drains into the corresponding chamber. They are supplying the containing septum. The lymphatics of the heart, accompany arteries from two trunks. The peculiarities of coronary circulation are VF during systole, end arteries, high capillary density, high O2 extraction, regulation mainly by metabolites, anatomical anastomosis, no physiological anastomosis. The coronary vessels are susceptible to obstruction. Then coronary blood flow, it is seen that 225 ml per minute is about 0.7 to 0.8 per gram of heart muscle, that is the ratio. Now factors regulating coronary blood flow are physical, chemical, neural, hormonal and reflexes. Physical factors are aortic blood pressure. CBF is directly proportional to the aortic blood pressure, especially the diastolic aortic pressure. Most CBF occurs during diastole. When diastolic pressure decreases, aortic incontinence or MAP is decreased, shock of aortic stenosis and CVP decreases. Now heart rate, excessive heart rate gives a feedback mechanism to the paroxysms. Tachycardia, diastolic period is increased, then coronary filling occurs during ventricular systole. Here you can see a flow chart how the feedback mechanism occurs and resist the cardiac accidents. Now moving to next part, that is chemical factor. The oxygen partial pressure or carbon dioxide partial pressure along with potassium, lactic acid and adenosine in the cardiac muscle leads to coronary vasodilation and CVF. Lack of O2 or hypoxia is the most effective coronary vasodilator. It produces certain changes along with hypoxia and ischemia and infarction. Nervous factors, direct effect is there due to parasympathetic controlled by vagus, and indirect effect plays a far important role in normal control of the coronary blood flow than the direct. Direct is in for emergency condition and it is controlled by parasympathetic, and indirect by sympathetic, and it controls the normal condition. Hormonal factor, thyroxine increases the cardiac metabolism and acts as coronary vasodilator. Vasopressin, antidiuretic hormones, they act as vasoconstrictor. Then reflex control, Anref's reflex increases the venous return, causes increase in pressure in right atrium leading to reflex increase of CVF during muscular increase. Gastrocoronary reflex, it also increases. Now coronary autoregulation, it is mainly due to within 60 to 140 mmHg it is done. Myogenic response, in an increased passive pressure there is increase in rate. Chemical theory, decreased perfusion pressure leads to increase adenosine and decrease oxygen, which causes vasodilation. So coming to the applied aspect, coronary artery disease, angina pectoralis is a condition where pectoral region along with left shoulder radiating to left ring finger, a pain is there due to hypoxic condition or ischemia. If ischemia persists and there is permanent cell death, that is called as infarction. So that is irreversible change of cardiac muscles. and that is grievous, but ischemia is reversible and patient can be brought into normal condition by body uh, reflex mechanisms or medicines. A myocardial infarction is a permanent damage, means necrosis of part of the myocardium due to severe prolonged ischemia or occlusion of one of the coronary arteries or its branches by coronary thrombosis or severe ischemia. Myocardial infarction produces also chest pain, which is more severe than angina. Here you can see the area of angina, and in case of infarction, there will be a burning sensation along with perspiration, and the pain nature of pain is more severe. Here you can see grafted vein and blocked vessels can be cured by here you can see this is angioplasty uh, stent, or you may use great saphenous vein, or you may use right internal mammalian artery for bypass, and this is angioplasty. In previous